Hello! So today I am going to share with you the trifecta of your human design. So when you are mastering these areas of your human design, your life is literally going to transform. Now, it is so important to understand when it comes to your human design, it is as unique, as individualized, and as layered as you are. And so whilst everything that I'm sharing in this video is so important for all of us to connect with, we are all going to have our own nuances, our own flow of energy inside of our chart. And so it's always really important to have someone be able to guide you in that, specifically for you. But again, this information that I'm going to share with you today, it has the power to send you on a journey that will completely transform your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your life. So, of course, our energy type is so important for us to get connected to. Your energy type is how your aura works, how you interact with the world around you, how you interact with other people, what your energy says about you when you walk into a room. And the more that you're aligning with that frequency, the more that you're connecting with that energy, the more you're going to align with the opportunities, with the people, with the environments that are meant for you. And that is a high point of your authenticity when it comes to your life, your reality, the things that you want. It also gives you so much permission because when it comes to your energy type, it is letting you know how differently we all operate and what happens when you start to play into the gifts of your energy type rather than the shadows. And for those of you who are new to human design, there are 5 different energy types: the manifestor, the generator, the manifesting generator, the projector, and the reflector. And so some of these energy types are more common than others. So for example, the population at large, it is about 70% of generators and manifesting generators. So this is the type that brings the energy to the table, that really uplifts the energy of the planet. And what's really, really interesting is there are so many generators and manifesting generators putting their energy where they don't want it to go. And as a result, it creates frustration. So imagine if 70% of people were putting their energy where it actually wanted to go, spending it where it gave them energy. The planet, the world, all of us would feel so much different just by that little shift. And we all have our own qualities to step into. And when we step into what is right for us, the collective benefits from that. And I think, part of the conditioning that we face a lot on this planet is when we put ourselves first, we're actually being selfish. But what you will notice, the more you tune into your inner world and connect with yourself, the more you will notice the people around you start to feel uplifted. They start to thrive. Like life just feels a bit sweeter around you as well as within you. Number 2 is your decision-making authority. And I don't say this lightly, but once you master your decision-making authority, you literally change your life. It is called your inner authority for a reason. This is how you step into being the authority of your life, to being the creator of what your life is all about. Your decision-making authority, there are 7 different types, so I would love to know what yours is. You can share that in the comments. But your decision-making authority, it is your internal intuition tool. It's almost like a compass that is picking up on the things that you're not consciously or logically noticing or picking up on. It is collecting information in the background. It is that direct line of communication to your soul, to your future self, letting you know which way to turn, what to say yes to, where your energy wants to be committed, engaged. It's giving you a piece of the next part of your puzzle. And what is so interesting is so many of us gaslight this part of ourselves. So you have probably had situations where you have agreed to do something, you've said yes to something, you've fully engaged your energy, and then it hasn't worked out. And then when you reflect on it, you're like, I knew that wasn't my decision. Like, I knew I didn't want to do that. Why didn't I listen to myself? Now, that in itself is also evidence for you that your intuition is powerful and it knows exactly what it's doing. So listening to your intuition, the more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle. And you get to a point where it's just like, I cannot ignore this part of myself anymore. And so a really great example of an intuition, sacral authority. This is going with your gut. And what I notice so much about sacral authorities is they let the decision travel to their mind. So for sacral authorities, their decision is instantaneous. It's right there in the moment. They know exactly what their decision is. But so often they've kind of been conditioned to believe that that's impulsive, that, we need to sleep on it. We need to give ourselves time to feel into something. That's not how you make decisions. You're not being impulsive. You're actually connected to yourself in that moment. You're being given the answers on a plate. And when you say, let me think about it, that is almost you giving yourself time to talk yourself into something that you don't really want to do, or talk yourself out of something you really do want to do. And it's often because we can't see the outcome of our intuition yet. That is like, your intuition, that hunch, that niggle, that answer, it only gives you that part of the puzzle. We don't get the step that is what happens when we do say yes to this. I want to create a business and I want to create a new Instagram. But what happens when I say yes to actually doing that and actually take the action and the aligned movement towards my intuition? What happens after that? You're not given that piece of the puzzle yet. You're being asked to trust. And again, this part of your human design is how you take creative control of your life. And this literally changes everything. This was the part of human design that actually got me into human design, because it was the part of my design as an emotional authority. When I understood this about myself, I realized I'd been making impulsive decisions my whole life, and actually giving that creative control and that authority to people outside of myself. And so I was always saying yes. And once I started stepping into making those decisions in a way that was aligned with me, things felt easier. Things felt more aligned. I felt in more control of my own life, which is exactly what your inner authority is all about. It's putting you in the authority position of your reality. And the third part of your human design that I want to talk about, and this is really something that follows on from your decision-making authority, because this lets us know where your mind tends to get involved, the areas of your life that you may then question or doubt or weigh up, or really talk yourself out of the things that your intuition is guiding you into, or the things that you want, right? That's your undefined centers. The undefined centers in human design are some of the most powerful parts of your design, but we've been using them wrong. Your undefined centers are literally portals where you receive information from people around you. It's where you pick up on energy. It's where you can listen to how other people feel, what they're thinking, all of these things. It's a very intuitive part of your design. And because it's where you take in the world, over time you are building up so much wisdom in these areas of your life. And Unfortunately, what is so common with our undefined centers is because there are these open portals, they're not being used as a sieve to take in that intelligence, that wisdom, that intuition from what's going on around us. We've actually been using them as a sponge. So we've been absorbing the energies of others, the limitations of others, the perspectives of others that don't actually align with who we are. So we can uncover certain limitations that live in these centers, and we can learn to channel them in the ways that they actually want to go, in the way that they're supposed to go. So as an example, a undefined emotional center, an undefined solar plexus. This particular center is, you are someone who is going to be really empathetic to the energies around you. You're going to feel what people are feeling, even sometimes before they feel it themselves. And what's really interesting about this center is because you have so much empathy and really feel the energy around you, it's almost like you can agree to doing things. You can say yes to things that you don't want to do because you're anticipating the reaction of someone else. You know, so if someone asks you to do something and you're like, you know what, like that doesn't feel aligned to me. If you have an undefined emotional center, you may just agree to doing these things as a way to keep the peace with the people outside of you. And what that ends up doing over time is it disturbs the peace within you. It starts to erode that confidence of trusting your own inner authority. And this is a very subconscious voice, and it's something that, especially with the undefined emotional center, the undefined solar plexus, it's something that we have to really nurture and create boundaries around, because this is a part of you that's very sacred, very wise, has a lot of power. But if we are allowing ourselves to, again, absorb so much of other people in that area, we're going to be making decisions from that place. So again, you're making decisions based on how you anticipate people might feel about a yes that you say, a no that you say. And that actually shakes your inner authority, and it is where you start giving that authority out to other people. And so these are 3 parts of your human design that are absolutely foundational in you becoming the authority, the creative director, the CEO of your own life. And so I would love to know what you think about this and how this resonates for you. And share with me in the comments, what's your energy type? What's your decision-making authority? What are your undefined centers? And if you want to know more about these, you can click the link below and you can get your full forever human design reading. Have a nice day.